Arjen Robben was born on the 23rd of January 1984 in Bayern, a satellite town of Groningen in the northeast of Holland. An interest in football came early, and he was signed as a youth player by FC Groningen at the age of 12. Skilled in dribbling and technical footwork, Robben was a believer in the Curve method, created by Curve, a legendary Dutch coach. The approach encouraged individual skills for use in tactical systems through the use of analysis of recordings of Brazilian stars from the 1960s and 70s. Though noticeably one-footed, the teen's left was very strong, and he developed a trademark style of cutting in from the right flank and using his left for a pass, cross or shot. He graduated from their youth academy to feature in Groningen's squad during their 1999-2000 Eredivisie season, but didn't set foot on the pitch until the 3rd of December 2000, when manager Jan van Dijk brought him on against RKC Waalwijk. Throughout the winter, Robben worked to convince Van Dijk into starting him regularly, and from December to May, the 17-year-old made 18 starts for the Pride of the North. Versus Ajax in March, he scored his first of 2 goals for the club that year and provided an assist to earn his local side a point against the Amsterdam Giants. Arjen was named Groningen's Player of the Year in his debut season and went on to enjoy an even better spell from August. Boosted game time and resulting confidence aided his further improvement in the next campaign, as a fixture of the initial 11. Utilised on either wing, he was a versatile young talent whose raw pace and tricky feet started to garner the attention of larger Dutch clubs. 28 league matches, with 9 goal contributions to his name, attracted PSV Eindhoven, who acquired the 18-year-old for €3.9 million in the summer of 2002. Immediately, he settled in the south, mainly featuring as a left midfielder for Guus Hiddink. Despite his deeper, wide role, in his 33 Eredivisie appearances, Robben claimed an impressive 12 goals with 7 assists and helped guide PSV to their 17th title. As a standout for the champions, he was named Player of the Year along with Mattea Kejman, with whom he built a fierce partnership, fan-named Batman and Robben. Awareness of the rising Dutch star had spread across the North Sea to England, and Sir Alex Ferguson invited him and PSV's chairman Harry van Rij to London for contract discussions. Keen to acquire the pacey forward, whose attributes were fit for the Premier League in the Scots' eyes, Ferguson was told by Van Rij that his €7 million offer would, at best, only buy them a shirt with Robben's autograph. With this, Chelsea pounced at the chance to hijack the transfer, and Roman Abramovich offered PSV the unignorable amount of €18 million to secure his signature, and the Dutchman agreed to move to West London at the end of their 2003-04 season. While the first 2/3 of his final season in Eindhoven were enjoyable, making 15 goal contributions in 23 matches, a couple of hamstring injuries reduced Robben to the sidelines from March to the end of their campaign, and Ajax comfortably reclaimed the championship. Performances throughout the prior seasons earned him a national team call-up in April 2003. Additionally, he was selected by Dick Advocaat for Orange's Euro 2004 squad. At the group stage in Portugal, Robben provided 3 assists in 2 appearances, and then converted the deciding spot kick to progress them into the semis, where they met the hosts, who bettered them within the 90 to steal a spot in the final. In England with the Blues, he had a rocky start which delayed his league debut, breaking a metatarsal bone in a pre-season friendly versus Roma. Jose Mourinho eased the winger back into the side towards the end of October, and Robben soon found his stride, netting his first Premier League goal against Everton in early November and winning Player of the Month. The timing of his transfer was fantastic, as Abramovich's Blues were rebuilding on a path to the Premiership title, and under the young Portuguese champion of Europe, Robben was able to flourish as a player. Mourinho's exciting system placed the Dutchman and the equally speedy Damien Duff either side of the target man Didier Drogba, a winning formula that just resulted in relentless goal scoring. In 14 games of back-to-back starts, his goal and assists tally both grew to 7 by February until, after bagging yet another versus Blackburn, he broke 2 bones in his foot, leaving him out for 6 games, including the EFL Cup final, in which Chelsea overcame Liverpool. Regardless of his significant spell off the pitch, the 21-year-old had been a crucial part of Chelsea winning their first league title for 50 years. The summer break was ample time for Robben to fully recuperate, and he began the 2005-06 season with the Blues positively, integral to Mourinho's side. Capable on either flank, but primarily as a left winger, he plundered 6 league goals in Chelsea's historic campaign, lifting a second consecutive title for the first time ever. While qualifying for the 2006 World Cup, Robben scored twice in their 6 games and helped get his nation to Germany to challenge for the biggest trophy in football. With the likes of Van Persie and Van Nistelrooy available, Marco van Basten's side were confident going into the tournament, and the winger secured the opening goal for the Dutch with a winner against Serbia and Montenegro.
And Arjen Robben opens the Dutch accounts.
7 points from 3 group fixtures was sufficient to get Holland through to the knockouts. Alas, Portugal again broke Orange hearts with a solitary goal to surpass the round of 16. A goal, an assist and 2 Man of the Match awards in his first World Cup was certainly not terrible, yet Robben returned to London disappointed. At the start of the next season, Chelsea had a slower start, dropping points to Middlesbrough and Aston Villa before the new year. Robben also struggled to replicate his numbers from the previous years, but 2 days before Christmas, he secured his first of the campaign in a Man of the Match performance against Wigan.
And Chelsea have a winner, and Arjen Robben gets his first goal of the season.
Irritating injuries plagued his 2007, first in January versus Liverpool and again in March while on international break, for which he underwent a knee operation. The stop-start nature of his year severely hindered his stats, and he ended the season with 6 goal contributions from 21 league games. The Londoners clinched the FA and League Cups, but fell short in the Premier League, conceding the title to Manchester United. In late May, Real Madrid voiced their interest in a couple of Chelsea's key players, namely Michael Ballack and Robben, but Abramovich was only willing to lose one of his starting 11. The negotiations were dragged out across the summer months until August, when Chelsea announced that they had sold the Dutchman for £24 million to Los Blancos, much to the anguish of Chelsea fans. Although he struggled to consistently stay fully fit, Robben was an important cog in a remarkable Chelsea team that remains one of the most successful sides in the history of English football. He made his European and La Liga debuts for Real in September 2007, but it took just 3 more games for the Netherlander to be inflicted with an injury yet again, a torn muscle. While in the stands, he watched Madrid stack points and top the table. On the 10th of February, the forward returned to start against Real Valladolid, who endured the wrath of Robben. He netted his first Spanish goal and provided 2 assists in their 7-0 triumph. From here, he proved to be an essential part of the squad for the remainder of the season, making 8 goal contributions as a wide attacker, beating defenders with direct sprinting and skill. Real held on to their top spot by the end of the 2007-08 season, and the 24-year-old added another league title to his already stacked cabinet. During Euro 2008, Robben found himself competing for a place in Van Basten's team due to a formation change which reduced the champion of Spain to the sideline for Holland's opening match. A 3-0 conquest over world champions Italy didn't convince the manager to start the winger versus France, but offered him a chance in the second half. A goal and an assist aided the Dutch to another outstanding success of 4-1, and won the forward a start in their final group game. Though victorious over Romania, Robben didn't impress the former Ballon d'Or winner and was benched in their crazy quarter-final match with Russia. Orange was stunned by Hiddink's side and eliminated after a 3-1 defeat, leaving Robben unfulfilled after another major international tournament. He held his place in Bernd Schuster's team during the next La Liga competition, mainly deployed as a right winger and continuing to perform well in Madrid as both a provider and goalscorer. His sprint speed and timing overwhelmed defences as he often beat the offside trap and ran free towards goal. Despite his one-footedness, Robben's left had become so good that he could approach the keeper from any angle and find the back of the net with clever, unexpected finishes. Los Blancos couldn't defend their league title as Barcelona scaled the table with ease and held the number 1 spot for the rest of the competition. In the summer, Real Madrid made some major alterations, vowing to reclaim the silverware in the 2009-10 season. Florentino Perez replaced Vicente Boluda as the club president, an appointment that threatened the Dutchman's place in the first team. The expensive signings of Cristiano Ronaldo and Kaká brought about extra competition and rendered Robben expendable in the eyes of the Spanish businessman. Bayern Munich showed interest in the winger with a bid of €25 million, which Real promptly accepted, and though he wasn't keen on the move and wanted to stay in Madrid, Robben was forced off to Germany prior to the start of the season. Handed the number 10 shirt, he made his German debut on the 29th of August in their opening league match. Perhaps it was to show Perez what he was missing out on, or maybe the instant love he felt from Bayern's fans, but Robben enjoyed a magnificent debut with a brace versus Wolfsburg that commenced his finest season yet. In a January 4-game spell of back-to-back scoring, he struck an amazing free kick against Werder Bremen and bagged his second brace of the year in March versus Freiburg in a 2-1 victory. One area that Bayern had been struggling to succeed in was Europe, having not made the Champions League final since 2001 when they bettered Valencia for the trophy. The Dutchmen shared their thirst for European glory, and in their round of 16 games against Fiorentina, Robben shone, with an incredible strike in Florence which put the Germans through on away goals. In the next round, Bayern were trailing to Manchester United, needing just one more goal to advance. Directly from a corner kick, Robben hit a first-time volley past Edwin van der Sar in the 74th minute for another 4-4 draw, seeing the Bavarians progress again on away goals. With fellow winger Frank Ribéry, the number 10 formed a formidable partnership, harassing defences from their respective flanks and racking up goal contributions. The Hollander found the back of the net 3 times as a part of Bayern's 7-0 landslide over Hannover 96, and in May, the Reds were declared champions of the Bundesliga, having beaten Hertha Berlin 3-1, 2 goals of which Robben claimed. Just a week later, on the 15th of May, he netted again to help Bayern to their 15th DFB Pokal title, the League Cup. With a relaxed win over Lyon, the Bavarians finally reached the closing match of the Champions League in Madrid at Robben's old home ground, the Santiago Bernabeu, playing his old manager's new team, Inter Milan. Robust and effective in attack, the Italian champions were ultimately too strong for Van Gaal's 11, and they suffered a 2-0 defeat. His tally had been raised to 23 goals in 37 appearances across all competitions, and as the top goalscorer for Bayern, he was named Footballer of the Year in Germany. His efforts at club level won him a deserved place in Bert van Marwig's 2010 World Cup squad as a key figure for his country. However, he would be travelling to South Africa with a slight injury to his hamstring, but the new coach stated that the winger would play unless the damage worsened. Barely used in the group stage, his first start came against Slovakia, and his 18th minute trademark strike contributed to their 2-1 victory, matching them with Brazil, whom the Lions also overcame with 2-1. Uruguay stood between them and their first final in 32 years, and after a couple of the tournament's best goals from Van Bronckhorst and Forlan, Van Marwig's side took control in the final third. Schneider secured the lead again, before Robben headed in their cushioning third. European champions Spain met them in the brutal final, which set a record for the most yellow cards issued in a World Cup final, with 14, 9 of which were shown to the Dutch. It sat deadlocked for the entire 90 minutes, but Robben's missed chance in the 62nd should have been the winner.
For the Netherlands,
Andres Iniesta buried the decisive goal with 5 minutes until penalties, handing Robben perhaps the biggest upset of his career. Again, he had performed superbly throughout the month and was nominated for the Golden Ball, the award given to the tournament's best player, which he lost to Diego Forlan. Back with Bayern, Robben was unfit to play for 2 months as his hamstring had not properly healed, which caused uproar from Bayern's chairman Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, blaming the Dutch national team for playing the winger and exacerbating his injury. Upon his New Year return, the forward took no time in getting back into the swing of things, and in the 14 fixtures he played, Robben plundered 12 goals with 10 assists, but his struggles couldn't help save the club's campaign, finishing 3rd in the league and dropping out of Europe in the first knockout round. Another push for the European title became the focus of the Reds' 2011-12 campaign. After the Bavarians clinched a spot in the final over Mourinho's Real Madrid, the Dutchman met another familiar side for the decisive game. The Blues were heavy underdogs, having changed their manager mid-season and generally fielding a weaker group of players. Unsurprisingly, Bayern controlled the match, with most of the possession, and found a late advantage through Thomas Müller. Within 2 minutes of the full-time whistle, Drogba drove an equalising header past Manuel Neuer, extending the final into extra time. The Ivorian marksman clumsily brought down Ribéry in the area, and Robben approached Cech to convert the spot kick and finally get his hands on the big ears. The Dutchman's effort was guessed by his old teammate, leaving penalties to determine the champion. Tied at 3-3, Bastian Schweinsteiger slightly mishit his penalty and struck the woodwork, leaving the saviour of the Blues to neatly slot away the pivotal penalty and win Chelsea their first ever UCL title. Within a month, Robben's frustration deepened, suffering 3 consecutive losses in the group stage of Euro 2012 to face early elimination. The forward's 2012-13 league campaign was riddled with muscular injuries, and he only featured 16 times in the Bundesliga, amassing 7 assists and 5 goals. Luckily, the Dutchman managed to stay fit for the knockout games of the Champions League, helping the Bavarians past Arsenal and Juventus to play Barcelona in the semis. Driven by the pain of their prior shortcomings, he and Bayern were exceptional against the Catalan juggernaut with a 7-0 triumph across the legs, 2 of which Robben converted, setting up the first ever all-German Champions League final. Bayern managed to recover the German title, having failed in the last 2 years, and achieved both domestic cups, yet the main aim was still to come. In Wembley, Borussia Dortmund controlled the first half, but failed to create any significant chances. Into the second half, Robben and Ribéry combined to break Jurgen Klopp's defence before the Dutchman squared a ball to Mario Mandzukic for the opener. Yet, within 8 minutes, Ilkay Gundogan had levelled the scoreline from 12 yards after Royce was fouled by Dante. As the clock crept towards 90, and with extra time beckoning, a long ball from Jerome Boateng was controlled and backheeled by the Frenchman, playing his Dutch counterpart through to steal a last-minute winner.
Robben! Robben! Jetzt macht sein Tor!
As the full-time whistle blew, Robben finally earned the trophy that had eluded him twice before, atoning for his shortcomings 12 months earlier. Named man of the match by UEFA, he has since received the nickname Mr. Wembley that would be used in the remaining years of his career. Now under Pep Guardiola, the European champions were determined to preserve all the domestic silverware and embarked on a dominant league run which saw them suffer merely 2 losses by the summer. The number 10 returned to more frequent Bundesliga appearances, featuring in all but 6 and scoring 11 goals. The chemistry between he and Ribéry was stronger than ever, more aware now of each other's movements, strengths, weaknesses and general on-pitch habits. Highlights for the winger included a clever finish versus Dortmund and a typical but brilliant run past Nuremberg's hopeless defence. These were his prime years, in a Bayern team looking to dominate and a national side fit to compete for the World Cup. Brazil were the hosts of the 2014 World Cup, and though Orange had by no means the strongest, youngest, or most talented squad of all the 32, they were under the management of veteran coach Louis van Gaal, who knew the Dutch would go far. While the ageing Robin van Persie was the true marksman, Robben was the talisman, who could decide a game on his own. Sharing the strike force with the Flying Dutchman, the pair brutally tore apart Spain with a brace each in their 5-1 triumph. Still a centre-forward in their second group game, Robben drove a shot past Australia's Matthew Ryan, aiding Holland to maintain their 100% record. He captained his nation in their victory over Chile, and Orange topped their group, drawing Mexico in the round of 16. Tying 1-1 with the South Americans, Robben won a controversial penalty, accused later of diving for which he had a reputation. Huntelaar put his nation through, and in the quarters, a resilient Costa Rica side took them all the way to a shootout. Robben's kick gave Holland the advantage that the underdogs couldn't catch up to, landing Van Gaal's team in a semi-final. In Sao Paulo, Argentina gave the Netherlands another tough game, but again neither side managed to find the back of the net after 120 minutes, and penalties loomed. The number 11 did all he could by converting his shot, but 2 misses from 4, while Argentina held a perfect record, cost Holland a place in the final. The crestfallen winger was again named on the 10-man shortlist for FIFA's Golden Ball Awards, and in August 2015, he was handed the captaincy in place of Robin van Persie. In October 2014, Robben finished 4th in the Ballon d'Or voting, and recognised as one of the world's finest players by FIFA, who featured him in their 2014 Pro World 11. Across the next 5 years, he remained a vital cog in the Bayern machine that won all Bundesliga titles from 2014 to 2020. Robben continued to astound audiences with signature skill runs down the right flank, and habitually scored for the Bavarians, concluding his German tenure with 144 goals and 101 assists in 309 matches. Consistent throughout his entire career, the Dutchman was laboured with injuries to his knee, calf, thigh, hamstring and abductor muscles, which impacted the regularity of his playing time, often enduring spells across the years that could leave him in the stands for up to 10 games. Although his ability to stay fully fit was just misfortune, it did cost Bayern in the Champions League, which they failed to lift during the remainder of his time in Munich. When the Netherlands failed to qualify for the 2018 World Cup, the skipper retired from international football, having accumulated 96 caps and scored 37 goals across 14 years in the orange shirt. On the 4th of July 2019, he decided to retire from football, until 11 months later, in June 2020, in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, he signed with his first club, FC Groningen. This romantic return was the winger's attempt to help the team recover from financial setbacks resulting from COVID, and although calf and groin injuries reduced his appearances to 7 in all competitions, the move attracted a lot of attention for Groningen in a period of difficulty. July 2021 saw his true retirement from football after 13 months in his hometown. Widely regarded as one of the best wingers in the world for most of his career, Arjen Robben was a fan favourite forward wherever he went. In England, Spain and especially Germany, he was very successful, winning league titles and reaping personal accolades. His pace, agility and skill with the ball at his feet made him a defender's nightmare, even if they knew which direction he was going. Well known for his left foot and recognised to be a one-footed player who couldn't use his right, Robben scored spectacular goals throughout his career, from distance by curling the ball into the corners or by dribbling through a defence and beating the keeper in a one-on-one. He also formed one of the most prominent offensive alliances in modern European football with Ribéry. The pair were both at the peak of their powers and naturally clicked on the field, playing off each other with elegance and accelerating the Bavarian attack. The duo earned the nickname Robbery for their long-running partnership. A standout even in the generation of Messi and Ronaldo, he is an unforgettable legend of the game and a giant in the history of German football.